There is a specific kind of fear most men will never admit. It is not pain, it is not hard work. It is not even loss. It is the fear of losing control in public. The fear that your voice cracks in a meeting, that your hands shake while you pretend you are fine. That you snap at your wife or your brother, and the look on their face tells you you became someone you hate. That you get pushed just a little, and you spill. Not privately, in front of people. And once it happens, you feel marked. You can handle pressure, but you cannot handle the idea of being seen as weak. I know that fear, because I have lived it. I've sat in a parked car, staring at the steering wheel, trying to slow my breathing before I walked into my own life. Not because I was afraid of the day, because I was afraid of myself inside the day. So let's be honest. Life is going to hit hard. Job pressure, family conflict, uncertainty you cannot solve this week. And in those moments, we do not need inspiration. We need a kit, a storm kit. 8 rules you can run when the sky goes black. Rules for attention control. Rules for priorities. Rules for disciplined response. Not to become numb, to become unbreakable. Because the Stoic man is not calm because life is easy. He is calm because he trained for chaos. Pause for a second. Think of your last high-stress day. Not the day you posted about, the day you barely survived, the day your mind was loud, the day you were one more message away from snapping. That is the day this is for. First tool, name the storm. Most men get flooded because they never define what is happening. They just feel it. They call it stress. They call it a bad day. They call it life. But the mind cannot manage what it refuses to name. So we name it. This is job pressure. This is conflict. This is uncertainty. This is fatigue. This is ego. Because the moment you name it, you separate from it. You stop being the storm. You become the man watching the storm. Marcus Aurelius wrote something simple that saves lives when you actually use it. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Read that again in your head. Power over your mind, not outside events. Modern translation. You cannot stop the emails. You cannot stop the criticism. You cannot stop the unexpected bill. But you can stop the inner collapse. Picture this. It is 9:12 a.m. Your boss pings you. Your stomach drops. You already know the tone. You can feel the day turning against you. Most men tense up. They start multitasking like a panicked animal. They try to outrun discomfort with speed, but the forged man does something smaller and stronger. He names it. This is pressure. This is not danger. This is not death. This is pressure. Here is the drill. Take 10 seconds. 1 sentence. Name what is happening in plain language. Then 1 sentence. Name what you control in the next 5 minutes. Second tool. Shrink the battlefield. Chaos feels unbeatable because we imagine it as the whole sky. But the Stoic man fights in squares, not in storms. Not the whole day, not the whole month, not the whole marriage. Not your entire reputation, this next breath, this next message, this next decision. Epictetus gave us the foundation. Some things are up to us and some things are not. Modern translation. What people think is not up to you. What you do next is. So shrink the battlefield until the fight is fair. Picture a dinner table. Someone says something sharp. You feel the heat rush up your neck. Your mind starts building a courtroom speech. You want to win. Most men go big. They bring up the past. They bring up old scores. They try to dominate the whole history, but the forged man goes small. He takes 1 breath. He chooses 1 sentence. He chooses 1 boundary. Here is the drill. Ask yourself 1 question. What is the next right action in the next 60 seconds? Not the next right feeling. Not the next right outcome. The next right action. If this is hitting you, stay close by subscribing. Not for motivation, for tools. Third tool. Guard the gate of attention. Your attention is the front door of your mind. And on chaos days, everyone tries to walk in. Notifications, opinions, bad news, old memories, worst-case futures. If you let everything enter, you will feel possessed. Not by demons, by noise. You do not have to attend every thought. You do not have to pick up every emotional phone call. You can let it ring. Picture this. You're trying to focus, but your phone keeps lighting up. A group chat, a headline, a random message that makes you feel disrespected. Most men keep checking. They keep feeding the fire. They call it staying informed, but it is self-sabotage. The forged man closes the gate. He becomes selective, because the man who can control his attention can control his day. Here is the drill. On storm days, if it is not directly connected to your next task, it waits. Put the phone face down. Silence non-urgent notifications for 2 hours and do not negotiate with yourself about it. Fourth tool, choose the one priority that buys back control. When life gets chaotic, most men add tasks. They think more effort will save them, but chaos is not solved by speed, it is solved by priority. One priority, one anchor, because when everything matters, you will drown. Picture uncertainty. Money feels tight. Your schedule is packed. You have people depending on you. You feel like you cannot breathe unless you fix everything today. Most men spin. They start 10 things. They finish none. They end the day ashamed. The forged man picks one anchor task, the task that, if completed, makes the storm smaller. Then he protects it like a man protecting his home. Here is the drill. Write down 3 tasks. Circle 1. Ask, which one reduces the most future stress? Do that first, no matter what your emotions say. Fifth tool. Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. A calm man is not a slow man. He is a controlled man. He moves with precision, because speed without control is just panic with momentum. In storms, your body becomes a liar. It tells you to rush. It tells you that intensity equals effectiveness. But intensity without clarity creates mistakes, and mistakes create more chaos. Picture this. You need to send a message that could affect your position. You feel rushed. You feel cornered. Most men fire off a response to protect their ego. Then they spend 3 days cleaning it up. The forged man takes 30 seconds. He breathes. He writes like a professional, not like a wounded animal. Here is the drill. Do a 30-second reset. Inhale through the nose, slow. Exhale longer than you inhale. Twice. Then ask, what would the calm version of me do here? Then do that. Sixth tool, do not rehearse disaster. Most suffering happens before the event. Seneca warned us about this. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Modern translation, your mind is a movie studio, and on chaos days it loves horror films. It shows you losing your job, losing your family, losing your status, and your body reacts like it is already happening. So you show up to a normal challenge already exhausted. Picture waiting for news, a decision, a call, a result. Most men refresh their inbox, refresh their phone, write the worst ending 10 times. The forged man refuses to run the horror film. He returns to the present task, because you cannot solve tomorrow with today's panic. Here is the drill. When you catch a disaster rehearsal, say, not now, then take physical action. One small task. Make the bed. Clean the desk. Walk for 5 minutes. Action brings the mind back to reality. Seventh tool, respond like a soldier, not like a victim. Victim mode is seductive. It gives you a story where you are powerless. And powerless men get forgiven for being sloppy. But the Stoic path is different. It says you are responsible for your response. Even when you did not choose the storm, this is where men become men. Not when things go right, when things go wrong, and they still act with discipline. Picture conflict again. Someone blames you unfairly or speaks to you with disrespect. Most men react. They match the heat. They try to prove they are not weak. The forged man stands tall inside. He speaks slower. He chooses words that do not poison the room. He can set a boundary without losing his dignity. Here is the drill. Use one sentence. I will not continue this conversation with raised voices. I am willing to talk when we are calm. Then stop talking. Do not keep explaining. A boundary is not a debate. And here is the truth most of us avoid. A lot of our anger is fear wearing armor. Eighth tool. Close the day like a forge. Closes steel. Storm kit is not only for the moment, it is also for after. Because if you do not close the day, the storm follows you to bed, and then it lives in you. You wake up already tense. You start the next day already behind. Marcus Aurelius wrote to himself. He corrected himself. He sharpened his mind like a blade. Not to punish himself, to train. Picture the night. The day was heavy. You did not handle everything perfectly. Most men scroll. They numb out. They avoid thinking. The forged man reviews with honesty. Then he chooses one improvement, not 10. 1. Here is the drill. 2 questions before sleep. Where did I lose control today? What will I do differently next time? Write 1 line, then let it go. Because tomorrow is another training session. Now hold the whole storm kit in your hands. Name the storm. Shrink the battlefield. Guard the gate of attention. Choose the one priority that buys back control. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Do not rehearse. Disaster. Respond like a soldier, not like a victim. Close the day like a forge closes steel. This is not philosophy as decoration. This is Stoicism as an operational checklist for chaos days. And the goal is simple. Not to be a perfect man, to be a reliable man. The man who does not fall apart when life hits hard. The man who can take pressure without bleeding it onto the people he loves. The man who stays calm in the storm because he trained for storms. If you want more tools like this, you know where to find them. Subscribe and stay close. One last vow. Say it quietly in your head. When chaos rises, I will not rise with it. I will become the center. Life can bring the thunder. Let it. We were built in the forge, and we do not break in the storm.